Coach, wow, the game that had everybody in the state talking about this past Friday. The first time that I understand a number 16 seed had ever beat a number 1 seed in the state playoffs. And obviously a huge win for you against Goose Creek. Before we talk about this week, just tell us a little bit about that game, because it was historic, it was amazing, and again, has everybody talking.
Yeah, our kids a couple of times we got the ball in the red zone and we kind of vomited. We didn't execute, and we're going to halftime down 21-0, and you had to take a number to talk to the kids. Our coaches were lined up, getting on our kids in a good way, in a tough way, a tough love way, and the message was pretty clear. We're not that bad, and we didn't come down here for embarrassment. That's not what we signed up for. We take the opening drive and kick a field goal, so it's 21-3, and then the play of the game is Goose Creek still driving the ball on us, and they may have continued to drive on us if this play hadn't been made, but Deontay Petruso stripped their running back on about the 2-yard line, goes 98 yards with the ball, and the momentum completely changed. And then we started holding them. They started punting. I didn't even know what their punter looked like. We hadn't seen him the whole game through 3 quarters, and so they start punting a little bit, and we start driving the ball, and we start scoring, and we go for 2 and miss it. Goose Creek had a great goal line stand down there, a 2-point conversion stand, and they hold us. It was 21-16, and then we score again, and Gary Smallin Hammer stand on the sideline telling me, we got to go for 2, we got to go for 2. So we went for 2 and we missed it. So now it's 21-16. We score again, make it with great job by our offensive line, and Brandon and everybody. We converted 5 fourth downs that night and completed. We converted 3 fourth downs on the final drive. One of them was 4th and 5, ball just past midfield, and Brandon rolls to his right to our bench, and they're covered. Petruso plants and breaks to the middle of the field. Brandon lays it up, catches it with somebody on his back, shakes him, shakes another, runs it down to about the 4-yard line, and you look up and it's a minute left. They wind in the clock. It's working down. Brandon runs a quarterback draw, scores. So now we're up 22-21.
How much time right there?
49 seconds. And our kids are going crazy. We got to burn another timeout to get the 2-point conversion call. We don't get it, so we're up 22-21. We know it's not over. Goose Creek's got some fabulous athletes. Coach Reedy's an unbelievable coach, and they get it down. The quarterback takes off and runs down to the 50. They throw it out of bounds. I'm looking up. I'm going, dang, all they need is a field goal. And they got it down on the 22-yard line. And I'm looking. I'm going, they're probably going to try a field goal here, but they have an illegal procedure call. So it backs them up to the 27.
Okay.
So a field goal right there is what, going to be 34, 44 yards. And so they don't go for it. It's supposed to be 4-point-something seconds on the clock. They put 5 seconds on the clock. I'm like, I asked the official, man, where are y'all from? Y'all from Charleston? He said, no, Coach, we from right here. I said, oh, boy. Goose Creek throws it up in the end zone because it was into the wind, so it's a little far for the field goal kicker. And our kids knock it down right there in the end zone. And so it was, I'm looking around for flags. There are no flags. And it was a great win for our kids and our coaches and our community, and in our first year of having varsity football. But we want to keep talking about that. We'll go get our rear ends beat Friday at York against a very physical, very well coached football team. Known Bobby Carroll since high school, and Bobby was a great player at York and a Shrine Bowler, and they'll be ready. And so if we want to keep talking about the win, then we can go have
a long night.
You're exactly right.
And a long ride back.
York's wide receivers as a core, probably as good as anybody in the state. 4 really, really good wideouts. The quarterback's about the size of Cam Newton. He's 6'5", 250 pounds. He can run it and throw it. So be a great challenge for our kids tonight.
As far as, again, going back to the last one more thing, as far as obviously you've had tons of incredible wins on the college level, but as far as being back here coaching in high school, I would think that's the most special one, at least so far.
I'd say back in '01 we were playing Central Arkansas, and they had us 31-3 at half at Catawba, and we came back beating them 38-34. That's one of those great wins as well. But again, you know, at Coastal when we upset James Madison. They were the defending national
Yeah.
champions. Was a great win. The kids,
Yeah.
students tore down the goalpost after that game. But to be a part of a team that's first year varsity football and beat the #1 team in the state as a 16 seed that we barely got in, by beating Fort Mill, it gave us that extra point to get in, to tie, and to get into playoff and all that stuff. So
Gosh.
it is a great accomplishment for our kids and our coaches.
As far as the week of practice, I know that great practice weeks don't always equate to well-played Friday nights, but that being said, what kind of week did y'all have?
Pretty good week. We had a pretty good week. We had a couple kids that was sick first part of the week that we just got back, some linemen. But again, my wife, blessed to have a phenomenal wife. She tells me not every day, but most every day, she says, this is high school. You didn't recruit these young men or young ladies. Love them up and coach them up. And I go, yes, dear. So we got to remember where we are, and it's just a blessing to be here.
All right, Coach. Best of luck tonight. That's going to be the one game I'm going to tell you that I'm going to be all over Twitter looking for the update. So
Twitter. Ain't nobody got time for Twitter.
You mean you're not? I thought you started Twitter.
Negative. Negative. No tweeting here, brother.
Good luck tonight, man.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, man.